What is up, you guys? What is up, gang? We are back at it again with another video. So today we are going to do a story time, because we haven't did a story time in a while, guys. So we're going to do a story time of the time I found out I was pregnant. How did I react? How did other people react? And just how that went. So let's get into the video. So this all started when I was 21. So how I found out. Let's start all the way from the beginning, guys. So I found out when I was at work, actually. I took a test when I was at work in the bathroom. But I'm going to get into how it led up to me taking the test. So if you're a female, you can understand. You can relate to how this went and how the feelings I felt. So it started off like a week before. I didn't feel nothing. I felt fine. I was good. But then I missed my period, right? Which wasn't abnormal, because sometimes I would miss. My period is very, 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 very irregular. Like, it don't come at the same time ever. So it wasn't a big deal to me. So I was just like, whatever, it'll come. Because there was a time when I missed a whole month of my period, and then I came on the next month after that. And I don't know, my period is just weird. Not sure why. But when I did, of course I did feel concerned when I missed a whole month. Of course I went to the doctor, and she's just like, it's stress related. Sometimes you don't have a period because you're stressed, or sometimes this and that. All types of reasons why you might not have a pregnant. I mean, might not have a pregnant. Might not have a period. So I went with that. So I was like, okay. So when I was like a week late, see, usually I'll come on like the end of the month or like the beginning of the next month, sometimes in the middle. Like, it's always weird, so you never know. So I knew that I hadn't came on yet, but I wasn't alarmed by that. What triggered me was I just had this strong feeling. Like, I knew I was pregnant. Like if you're a female, you'll understand. Like, if you've ever been pregnant, you know that feeling. Like, it's just, you know you are. There's nothing that anybody can tell you that you aren't. Like, you just know, you have that feeling that you are. Like, you can feel that your entire body is different. It's not the same. And you can tell, like, something else is going on. It's just not normal. Something else is happening inside my body. And that's the feeling that I felt. It was just like, I knew that I was. But I was kind of in denial, so I didn't take a test right away, because I was like, I feel like I am, but, I'm in denial, so I'm going to just be like, nope, I'm not. Nope. Not. But after that, I just started to feel hungry, like, all the time, like, extremely hungry. And it's like, when you're pregnant, it's not just a normal hungry, like your stomach's growling, you're hungry. When you're pregnant and you're hungry, it's like death status. Like, you feeling like you're going to die if you don't eat. You get so weak to the point you're just like, oh my God, I can't carry on with life right now. You get, like, I can't even describe the pregnancy hunger. It's the worst thing. It's worse than just being regularly hungry, not pregnant. It's just like your stomach feels completely empty. You feel like you're going to throw up. You feel weak. You feel like you can't do anything because you're hungry. Like, your whole body shuts down. Like, when you're normally hungry and your stomach's growling and you haven't eaten all day, like, your whole body don't just immediately shut down. Like, of course, if you carry on throughout the day, you'll start to get weak eventually. No, when you're pregnant and you hungry, your stomach just instantly shut down. Like, your whole body shut down. You don't know what to do. You don't know. You get real angry. You get aggravated. You get to cussing people out. And that's how I was feeling. And then the other symptom I had was I was really sleepy. Like, I would get sleepy out of nowhere. I'll be working an 8-hour shift, and like 3 hours in, I'm just sleepy. Like, I get really tired. And when I do go on my break, I would fall asleep in the break room. And then people would come looking for me because I would be asleep too long. Like, and that was abnormal for me. I would never fall asleep at work. No matter how sleepy I am, I would never fall asleep. And then, like, certain smells, like, I work at Target, but I also there's a Starbucks inside the Target. So I would go to work when I was scheduled to work at Starbucks, and the smell of the coffee made me want to just vomit. Like, I would get in there, I would brew a pot of coffee, and I couldn't take it at all. I would instantly start gagging, and then I would have to throw up. And I was like, something is not right. So then I went, got a test. And I bought the test at the pharmacy because we have a pharmacy in Target. Because I didn't want everybody in my business if I would have went to the checkout lanes and all this stuff. So I went to the pharmacy, bought the test. I went in the bathroom. I took the test. And then when that test had this blue freaking plus sign, I literally just stared at it. Like, really? I just stared at the test like, this is wrong. So I took the other test because it comes with 2 tests. So I took the other test. I was just like, okay, all right. Knew at some point in life this was going to happen, so all right. And at that point, I wasn't crying hysterically. I wasn't anything. I don't feel like I understood what was going on till later down the line. Like, it didn't feel real to me, so I was just like, okay, whatever. It has a plus sign, so okay. So I went and I told this girl that I work with. I went and told her, and she was just like, oh my God, because she was pregnant. And she was like, oh my God. So her reaction was better than mine because I was just like, okay, whatever. So after that, after I got off of work, well, before I got off of work, I text Bentley's dad. And I'm letting him know, like, this, that, and the third. Send him a picture of the test, and he's just like, what? So I was just like, yeah. So after work, I got off at, like, around 3. I went to the emergency room just to make sure, like, the test wasn't wrong. So then they gave me a test there. And it came back positive. And I was just like, this is getting a little bit serious. I was just like, oh, my God. Even after that, I was just like, okay, this is real, but I still, like, it still didn't feel real to me. Like, I swear it didn't feel real to me until my stomach actually started showing. And I'm a skinny, petite person. So I literally didn't start showing until I was, like, 7 months. When I was 7 months, then I started showing. Like, then my stomach started pudging out. Before then, like, you're pregnant? Really? Where? And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know how I really felt. I was like, okay, whatever. Pregnant, okay. So then, after that, me and Bentley's dad, we were talking, and he was just like, okay, whatever. Whoop de whoop. He wasn't like, I feel like both of us was just like, okay, whatever. We wasn't really, like, shocked. So then time went by, a couple of months went by, and then that's when it started getting real. Like, I actually started feeling sick. Like, I swear I did not feel anything until I took that test. That's when it all went downhill. Of course, I had those smaller symptoms of, like, nausea, this, that, and third, when I would smell coffee, but I would never actually throw up. I just felt like I needed to throw up. But it was like, after I took the test and it said positive and I found out that I actually was pregnant, it all went downhill. Like, it was like literally the next day, I woke up, morning sickness, throwing up. And my morning sickness would not even just be morning sickness. It would be all day sickness. I would wake up, throw up, gather myself together, go to work, throw up at work 2-3 times, go home, try to eat because I knew I needed to eat, throw that up. Like, it was nothing that I was keeping down. And then to the point where my stomach was empty, I was throwing up water and stomach acid. There was nothing left for me to throw up. I was literally throwing up all day. I had all day sickness until I was like 4 months. Very miserable 4 months of my life. I could not stop throwing up. I couldn't eat anything. I was trying to eat crackers, pretzels, anything. I had ginger ale and I would still throw up to the point that I started losing weight. So I started getting skinnier. I started off at 105. I was 105 pounds since like middle school. 105 pounds. Imagine me losing weight. I looked like a freaking mental patient. It was ridiculous. So after that time went by, of course I told my mom before all of this. Like, when I found out, I told my mom, and my mom was just like giving me this whole run through of abortions and this, that, and the third, and how I couldn't do this, and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, I live by myself. I take care of myself. I don't care what anyone else has to tell me or how they feel about it, because I got this. I got this, okay? I got this. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to have to deal with my decision. I'm going to have to deal with it. Of course, you have people who support you, and they're like, oh my God, if you need anything, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, when you make that decision, only you are going to deal with it. If you made the decision to get rid of it, you're going to have to deal with it. Your own self. You're going to have to deal with the emotions, how you feel, and this, that, and the third, how you feel like, oh my God, I made the worst mistake of my life. You're going to have to deal with that. So when you make that decision, you have to make sure it's your decision. No one influenced you to make that decision. It has to be your decision. Okay? Because once you make the other decision or make any decision and you feel like you regret it, that is going to tear you apart for the rest of your life, because you're going to have to live with it for the rest of your life. So I told my mom, and then I told... Wait, did I tell my dad? I did tell my dad, but I can't remember when I told my dad. I feel like it was like 2 weeks after I found out I told my dad. But I didn't tell my aunt. My aunt is the hardest person in the planet to tell something to. The hardest. So, of course, I didn't tell my aunt till I was like 6 weeks. And I found out when I was like, I don't know, like 5 weeks, 4 weeks. I found out really early. And I didn't tell my aunt until I was like 6 weeks, which was a couple weeks after. And I didn't even get to tell her. The girl at work told her. The girl at work was eavesdropping on me and the other girl that I had already told, the pregnant girl that I already told. Eavesdropping. And went and told my aunt, because of course my aunt works with me at Target. And she went and told her before I even came around to even get to tell her. Like, I was pissed off. And then, of course, my emotions was running high because, of course, I was pregnant. So when I actually did see my aunt and I knew that she knew, I could not stop crying. I was hysterically crying. I didn't know what to do. I just couldn't stop crying. Everyone knows I'm not a crier. Like, it has to be something that build all the way up for me to cry. Like, and I was just like hysterically crying. I couldn't even stop crying. Because I felt as though she was mad because I didn't get to tell her, which of course she was, because I knew that's how she would feel. How she would feel like I didn't tell her. It came from someone else's big ass mouth. Told her. So that's how that went. I told the dad, I told my aunt, I told my mom, I told my dad. And then of course, after that, it was my sister, my nana, and anybody else I felt like telling. But that's how that went of how I found out I was pregnant. I really didn't have a real emotion until I started showing, which was like later down the line when I started to get a little pudge. Other than that, I was kind of in denial. I didn't have really any emotions towards it. So that was my story on when I found out I was pregnant. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And see you later, gang. Bye.